They are not actors, they are not performers. The King's Guard stands in silence, not for show, but for service. But day after day, their patience is tested. Tourists cross the line, children are encouraged to play where they shouldn't, and adults, lost in their own amusement, forget the risk and the respect this place demands. Today, we witness what happens when that respect is broken. From painful bites to close calls. These are the consequences of ignoring centuries of discipline. A woman strokes the King's Guard horse and gets bitten painfully, causing the crowd to burst into laughter. A tourist lady got too close to the horse, almost triggering an attack. The horse lunged out of its box, but thanks to the quick actions of the horse guard, the situation was swiftly brought under control. A disrespectful boy plays pranks near the King's Guard horse, showing a lack of respect for the solemn setting. Disgusting behavior. The police immediately removed this disrespectful tourist for violating the rules at the horse guards. He foolishly posed inside the sentry box and quickly received the reaction he deserved from the authorities.
It is, by extension, the ceremonial entrance to both Buckingham Palace and St. James.
This man showed extremely rude gestures in the royal horse area, displaying a lack of respect for tradition and ceremony.
Shut the fuck up. Freedom of speech.
She was incredibly rude. This woman got uncomfortably close to the guard's face and examined him disrespectfully. A woman stared intensely at the King's Guard and immediately received a firm, clear response through his body language. The guard loudly orders tourists to clear the path, emphasizing the importance of respecting boundaries. The King's Guard decisively confronts disrespectful tourists, ensuring the sanctity of the horse guards area. A tourist touches the horse's reins, prompting a thunderous "Get off the reins" from the King's Guard. A rude man startles the horse, leading to police intervention in a serious discussion about safety. Disrespectful tourists laugh and defy guards and police during inspections, showcasing blatant disregard.
Gracias, Norma. Ya me estoy cambiando. Les gusta que no entienden.
Out of the restricted zone, the King's Guard warns after a tourist ignored the white line rule at horse guards in London. Two armed officers arrived quickly after the King's horse playfully grabbed a tourist bag, startled by the sudden loud noise nearby. Despite warnings, an adult let two small children stand too close to the royal horse. An unnecessary and dangerous risk. He crossed the line, breaking protocol. The King's Guard responded instantly, restoring order with calm but assertive authority. Emphasizing the importance of safety. Tourists disregard new rules and cross the boundary, leading the King's Guard to issue a stern reminder of proper conduct. A young man stands too close and mocks the horse, displaying blatant disrespect toward the Royal Guard's duties. A soldier commendably reprimands a tourist, firmly instructing them to vacate the restricted box area immediately. With the pathway obstructed by a dense crowd, the guard forcefully shouts, "Make way!" to clear the route. The tourist first grabbed the reins, upsetting the horse. Moments later, he asked to pet it, only to grab the reins again. Another tourist ignored the horse's bites. Fed up with such disrespect, the King's Guard retreated with the horse back to safety. An armed officer sternly reminded a male tourist to step away from the royal horse zone for safety and protocol. Shocking behavior. This man insulted the King's Guard and the horse while blatantly breaking every rule in the royal area. This rude young man at the horse guards area tried to fight with a police officer. The King's Guard horse teaches a foolish tourist a lesson for crossing the line, reminding everyone to respect boundaries. A woman gets too close to the horse and suffers a painful bite, highlighting the importance of keeping a safe distance. A guard firmly removes a girl from the restricted area near the horse, enforcing the rules. A lady guard, having had enough, uses her horse to move a tourist out of the box, asserting authority.
Boy, why is that decided?
Two silly tourists act disrespectfully near the King's Guard, displaying inappropriate behavior. Completely unacceptable behavior near the royal horses. A loud shout from the King's Guard firmly ordered the woman to leave the restricted area around the royal horses. An armed police officer reminded a man to respect the warning signs and not touch the King's horse for everyone's safety.
Thank you.
Is she dancing for the King's Guard? The woman's inappropriate behavior left everyone around confused and disapproving. He disrespected the lady guard and instantly faced the consequences for his inappropriate behavior at the horse guards.
Get behind the white line!
guard scolds a man for touching the horse's reins, emphasizing the danger.
Get out! Don't touch the reins.
A tourist carrying a flag scares the royal horse, prompting swift police action.
I said I'm sorry. I'm going now.
Obvious that was going to happen. They say you're sorry.
A man nearly has a heart attack after a guard's loud command to clear the way. A tourist touches the reins and faces a sharp reaction from the guard. A dangerous situation arises as parents allow their child near the horse unattended. A defiant tourist confronts a police officer, refusing to move despite clear instructions, showcasing a lack of respect. The King's Guard reaches a breaking point as a tourist blatantly breaks the rules, eliciting a strong reaction from the horse guard. In a chaotic scene, the King's Guard shouts twice at obstructive tourists, asserting authority to maintain order.
I didn't see you.
A female tourist wanders into a prohibited area, demonstrating ignorance and disrespect towards established boundaries. A creepy man continuously stares at the lady horse guard, making her visibly uncomfortable as she maintains her composure. A rude tourist touched the King's Guard at horse guards in London and quickly witnessed the serious reaction from the guard. Shocking. A silly tourist stood too close to the king's horse and narrowly avoided getting hurt due to her careless behavior. A foolish tourist steps into the horse's restricted area, risking serious injury by ignoring clear safety warnings. In a swift and dangerous moment, a tourist gets too close to the horse and suffers a painful bite. An elderly man enters the restricted zone and is immediately ordered to leave by the vigilant King's Guard. A shocking moment as a woman ignores the guard's warnings, steps into the white box, and touches the horse. Tourists continue to disregard the white line rule, stepping into restricted areas despite clear signage. The path becomes crowded with tourists, prompting the King's Guard to shout loudly to clear the way. The King's Guard stands for honor and discipline, but reckless tourists often push the limits, leading to shocking and unforgettable moments. They are mocked, provoked, and disrespected, from tourists grabbing the reins, to blocking the path, to mocking the very uniform they claim to admire. The King's Guard is not here for amusement, and when the line is crossed, they respond. A disrespectful young man attempts to provoke the King's Guard, only to be met with a stern response.
What a handsome lad. You like my curly hair?
If he stomps you out, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm not helping.
High five. Down low. No, but
You're the most unfunny person I've ever met. Come on.
you are handsome.
Parents irresponsibly allow their daughter to stand too close to the horse, resulting in a painful bite despite warnings. A lady confronts the King's Guard after being shouted at for standing inside the box. A man pushes a kid into the box, escalating the situation. A crowd gathers too close to the guard and horse, prompting a firm warning to maintain distance and respect the boundaries.
Fight!
The renowned Lady Guard sternly reprimands a tourist twice, insisting she step out of the restricted box area. A mother allows her daughter to approach the horse dangerously close, nearly resulting in a bite, highlighting the risks of ignoring warnings. The horse guard loses patience, shouting at a tourist who lingers inside the horse's designated area. "Get away from the horse!" the guard shouted repeatedly, but the woman ignored the warnings several times. A powerful shout from the King's Guard forced the rude tourist to step back immediately from the restricted royal area.
Get back! No, over there.
Startled and frightened, the woman was bitten by the royal horse after ignoring repeated warnings to stay back. A tourist grabs the reins, resulting in a loud reprimand and immediate ejection from the area. Police intervene after a tourist ignores multiple warnings to exit the restricted zone. An officer swiftly addresses a tourist mishandling the reins, reminding them it's not a toy. A guard gently nudges a female tourist who crossed the line, reinforcing the importance of boundaries. A rude woman mocks the King's Guard, only to be met with unwavering professionalism. A female guard shouts, "Do not touch the reins," leaving the tourist visibly shocked. The King's Guard stands for discipline, tradition, and honor, a living symbol of centuries-old service to the crown. But time after time, that respect is challenged. Tourists cross boundaries. They provoke the guards. They treat sacred ground as their playground. Today, we witness moments where patience runs out, and the King's Guard, together with the police, restore the dignity of tradition, with power and without apology.
Get back!
The female tourist repeatedly tried to touch the horse, despite several close calls where she was nearly bitten. A risky persistence. Impressive discipline. The guard protected her horse immediately. The tourist jumped in shock as the guard took swift, firm action. A frightened tourist screamed and ran, but returned minutes later, even after nearly being bitten. Some never learn the royal way. She played with the wrong horse. It bit her hair. A painful reminder that these majestic creatures demand respect, not teasing. Two armed police officers handle a disruptive tourist at the Royal Horse area. A disrespectful female tourist touches the reins and is promptly shouted at to leave.
Don't on the right!
A tourist blocks the path and receives a stern warning from the guard.
Hey, wait for the king's guard!
A guard yells as a female tourist touches the reins, leaving her stunned.
Get off the mat!
A crowd obstructs the guard's path, highlighting the need for public awareness. A man crosses the boundary and is immediately escorted out by a female guard.